All right, so this is a little bit of an unusual video. I don't normally make videos like this because this is an RC channel, but this is definitely affecting me and in turn affects the show and you guys. Number one, thanks a lot for tuning in. I know some of you guys have been with the show since the very beginning, all 10 years. I've been making a show about radio control hobby products on YouTube, and it's changed my life. It's changed the lives of some of my friends and people around the world. 1.3 billion views, that's with a B, at the time of this filming, and millions of subscribers. We've had them come and go over the years, but I know the guys that are still with us would really love an update on my health. So I did do a video a few years ago called I've Been Hiding the Truth, which was quite true, where I discussed that I had some degenerative discs in my lower back. And the reason I'm sharing this story is because A, I'm trying to come to grips with a whole bunch of new things as well. And I know that there's so many people out there that are suffering with very similar issues that I have, and maybe we can kind of share stories and gain some strength from it. And if you guys aren't interested in this right now, click off the video. There's like 1,400 RC adventure videos I've done, and also a second channel called RC Sparks Reboot, which has a lot of great stuff on it as well. But getting back to the degenerative discs, I was saying at that time I had been spending a lot of time going to the hospital because I kept pulling muscles in my back, and I thought that I had been pinching a disc and it was actually making me not able to walk very well or do everyday mundane tasks like get out of bed without hurting yourself, or going for a walk, or sneezing or coughing, or any of those kind of things could really cripple me for almost a month at a time. And a lot of you guys don't see that sometimes I actually have to walk with a cane or even a walker because my back is so swollen that I need assistance to walk. So it was a challenge all the way up until that time of the video. And then it actually got a whole bunch worse with the year that was about to come up, and I was about to discover why. And one of the things that I've been suffering with since I was in my early 20s, in fact, late teens, early 20s, was like what I thought was like IBS related issues, where I was eating and I'd always have a sore stomach, or always have like sore intestines, like you'd push on my stomach and it would really hurt all the time. And eventually I just kind of thought it was normal because the doctors would say, we don't know what's wrong. It's just, you must have like irritable bowel syndrome or something where your stomach just gets sore and we don't know why. And so I kind of pushed it off, and I had the scope down my throat, which is a horrible experience. It's like a torture, an endoscopy they call it. And you get scopes up the other side, which is a colonoscopy, and that's no fun, as you can imagine. All in the way of wanting to discover what's wrong. They have to see what's inside, and they never really found anything, except a few years in, I'm like the luckiest guy ever. I seem to have grown 5 wisdom teeth in my mouth, not 4. I know some I've heard have had 6 in their mouth. I had 5, and I didn't get them pulled out when I was 16. I got them pulled out when I was like in my 20s, and I got an infection on this side of my face. They had to give me some antibiotics for my infection, and that actually killed a whole bunch of the good bacteria in my guts. This was like 9 years ago when I posted my first trailing video of my Tamiya Toyota Tundra going through a swamp with like lots of awesome dramatic music, and that was a really cool adventure, even though I was still suffering at that time, just kind of on the brink. Anyway, so with all my good flora and bacteria killed in my intestines, I got something called C. diff, which is like a horrible condition where your guts aren't working well and it's constantly pushing everything out. I'm sorry to share this with you, but it's real effing life, and it happened to this guy. So 6 months I had that. I almost died. I went to the hospital 6 times in the ambulance just for that. And it was contagious, something that other people could catch. So I was like in quarantine every time they were touching me because I had antibiotics poisoning. They didn't want to catch what I had, which is crazy. How can you catch that? But it comes down to what happens in your guts and how it gets passed on. So I finally got it fixed. But I had this issue with my back. I keep pulling my back out and it would go into spasm and seizure and off I'd go to the hospital again. Driving me crazy. I'd go to the doctors, I'd go to the specialists, they'd tell me that nothing was wrong, and the whole time I have this mental game going on with, hey, what the F is wrong with me? I don't know what's wrong. Everyone's telling me I have a mechanical injury in my back, and I've got some sort of irritable bowel syndrome, which sounds disgusting, and it's horrible. So you'd be up late at night and doing all these things and trying to get healed and just try to live life and have a family and do a show and go to work and go to events and do all these things and meet people after I've been healed, but still really kind of suffering with my back and not wondering what the heck was going on with my stomach, because C. diff was eventually cured. Ironically, they had to give me antibiotics to actually fix that. Pumpkin, you are wanting to get up here. This is the other pussy in my life right here, Pumpkin. This is a dude. He is one of the most resilient cats I've ever had. And I am a dog person. I'm actually an animal person, but I'm allergic to everything, including cats. Why would I have one? Because my kid loves them. Regardless, I digress. I apologize. So long story short, I did the video back in the day about my back being hurt because I wasn't able to walk very well. Meanwhile, I was still suffering with stomach things, but I didn't answer it at that time. Like I said earlier, a year later, it really kind of cropped up, and all of a sudden, my eating ability really was kind of hindered because all of a sudden I was eating and I was up at night just totally stuck in the bathroom, to be quite straightforward, and it was happening every night. My body was doing things that I couldn't understand, and my flipping back was getting worse and worse. Not only was it bad in my lower back, but also in my middle spine. So in between my shoulders, it was really starting to cramp and tense up, and also in my neck, which I thought was just from being on the computer a lot, which is not really a lot. I'm not on the computer a lot, but for some people, I could be considered so. So, regardless, moving forward here, finally I got to see a doctor called an internist, and they study internal medicine. And I have been a virtual pincushion for the last year. Doctors have been taking blood samples and tissue samples and everything, and x-rays and MRIs and brain scans and like ultrasounds and you name it. I have been poked, prodded, scoped, and everything this entire year. And going through crippling back pain and my guts always trying to empty themselves. Hence is why, I'm sorry guys, I know it's disgusting. You guys can all make fun of me, it's totally cool. I've had to take some time to get used to this myself and know that these two diseases are not curable. What I have, Crohn's disease and ankylosing spondylitis, which is the degenerative disease that actually tries to fuse your spine together. It attacks your joints and the calcium starts to build up in between your joints, and this is when you see the old people all kind of bent over and in pain for a lot of different reasons. It could be something like that. Gets me throughout my body, but mostly in my back. Manageable with medication, so that's what I'm going on right now. I'm on really heavy duty steroids to try to cure or to heal the open sores that are in my intestines right now, which is what they found. Plus I've recently had some surgery that was related to my Crohn's that was very painful, and you guys have all been exceptionally supportive in the comment section on my Instagram and on my Facebook, and pretty soon I won't be talking about this very much anymore. I just wanted to get this video out there so I could get it off my chest, communicate with you guys, and maybe encourage you because to let you know that someone like me has been battling this for years. And a lot of people out there, I'm so lucky that I have the YouTube community and my online support, because this is what I love to do. Everything in the shop and on this property is what I love to do. And I'm able to do this with the help of you guys and everybody around me in my support group, my family, my amazing friends, you know, and without them, this would be very, very difficult for me. So this is why I'm sharing this story with you. As gross and disgusting and as embarrassing as it is for me to come out publicly and talk about this, I hope there's somebody else out there that is struggling that can get some sort of strength from this, because I'm not ashamed anymore. I feel sad on the inside. You can hear I feel sad. I think that's normal when you find out that you got something that you can't get rid of, and that it's very crippling and debilitating. But I've also found a lot of strength in myself. I found out that I have a lot of resiliency, power, self-will. I can't eat a lot of foods anymore because most things that are colored red, anything colored red, I can't really have because my body rejects it. I don't know why. Anything spicy I can't have. My body rejects it. No dairy at all. No milk, butter, cream, cheese, chocolate. It's all out because if I have it, my body just immediately overreacts to it. They're autoimmune diseases. It's where your body actually is attacking itself because they don't know why yet. That's why there's no disease. It's just a hyperactive, oh my God, I did have a word for it in my head. Tumor necrosis is a type of, it's not a gene, but it's something in your body that causes inflammation. And that's what happens to me. When I get hurt or I'm allergic or something, I swell up, and that's what happens to my guts. Kind of feels like someone's taken their fingernails and scraped out the inside of your intestines and tummy for the day. So hopefully the Humira, I think, is what I'm going to be put on from the hospital. Is supposed to help me over time. The steroids, I'm 5 weeks into an 8-week round that I have to do, so bear with me, guys. Throwing around fifth scales and heavy RCs is really challenging for me now, and it may be like that for the rest of my life. Now, I'm hoping to eat lots and kind of strengthen up when the Humira hits my blood, and I'm like a year into it. I might be able to make a great big comeback in health, but until then, it's just a matter of managing, still doing what I love, talking to you guys, kind of keeping you up to date with RC Adventures and with Loading Wars and YouTube Gold and the other things that I have planned that I can't talk to you about because I'd ruin the surprise. But all I gotta say is smash the like button. No disliking this. I know you feel bad for me. You don't have to though, because this is all thumbs up. Always a positive mental attitude. Best I can, even though sad thoughts always work their way in. Because you know why? That's life. If I said any different, I'd be a liar. You guys come to me because you always know. I just give it to you straight. Well, some of you don't think I do, but I always do. Regardless, we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Thanks for watching, and I know I said regardless a lot during this video, but it's hard to be raw like this and unscripted and get everything right. Bye. See ya.